Today I'm going to be talking about the SJCAM SJ4000. It is a direct competitor for the GoPro Hero 4 with a drastically cheaper price tag. I recently went on a trip to the Philippines, and when I did, I used my brother's GoPro Hero 4. I loved how lightweight and versatile it was, so I could pretty much go anywhere with it. When I got back, I started looking up the prices for the GoPro Hero 4, and as you know, it is not a cheap camera, especially if you want any of the accessories that come with it to basically even make it usable. So I knew at that point I was going to have to find something cheaper. So I started looking online, and the first one I saw was called the DB Power 5000. I started looking up video reviews on that, and they weren't too favorable. A lot of people were saying the low light capability and just the overall quality in general was not up to par with the GoPro Hero 4. So then I looked up another camera called the LightDow LD4000, and it's kind of the same thing. A lot of the reviews weren't that great. So I kept looking, and then I came across the SJCAM SJ4000. When I looked up video reviews for that, those ones were saying it was a great camera. In fact, a lot of people were preferring it to the GoPro Hero. And another big draw is also that it is a lot cheaper. Talking about GoPro Hero with all the accessories, around $500 versus this camera, which comes with all the accessories, including a waterproof case, for under $100. I've had this camera for about a month now, and I've been putting it through most of its paces, including checking out all the video modes and all the options that are available, including using it as a dash cam for about a week or so just to check out that capability. As far as pros go, there are many. It's got a 170 degree wide angle lens. In fact, I'm using the camera right now, if you can't already tell. It does not come with a front screen. It only comes with a front on-off mode button, which isn't that big of a deal for me. The version I purchased is the Wi-Fi version, so I am able to watch what's going on my phone, which is obviously another big draw for me. Low light capabilities weren't that stellar. When I was using it as a dash cam, I noticed in the video that it would still get a lot of details and a lot of light coming in from the street lights, headlights, what have you, but a lot of the dark areas were quite grainy and had some digital artifacting going on. As far as everything else, the video quality is great. One of the cons with the video options is it doesn't have a 1080p 60 frame a second option, which is why I'm shooting this on 1080p 30. It does have a 720p 60 frame per second option, but as you know, 720p is kind of subpar. It doesn't look that incredibly great. I would much rather shoot at 1080 and then have it downgrade on YouTube. I also did a water test, and the waterproof casing held up great. Had no problems with that whatsoever, no leakage at all. Now let's go to battery life. The GoPro battery life is significantly better than this one. This one, I can run it for about 45 minutes to an hour before the battery is completely drained, whereas when I use the GoPro, I could run it for about 2 hours off and on, and it would be maybe down to about half a battery. So that is one of the main issues I had with this. But the package that I purchased on Amazon came with 2 extra batteries, so I'm not complaining. As long as I keep those all charged and ready to go, I'm golden. Now, the quality of the internal mic is also not that great, but I also noticed with the GoPro that the microphone wasn't picking up much volume, especially if I was riding inside of a car. For some reason, the low frequencies coming from the car kind of canceled out the mic, so you could barely hear anybody talking in the car. And also, randomly, I would press record if I was in my hotel room, and I'd start doing a video blog, and I realized later on that my voice was very low. It was barely picking up anything at all. So at least with this one, I've noticed every time I hit record, the quality of the mic doesn't change. It doesn't drop volume or heighten volume or anything like that. But the audio quality in and of itself is not that great, which is why I would suggest, if you're planning on doing some talking, to the camera, say if you're a video blogger, I would suggest getting a separate mic with a separate field recorder. So that's my little short review on the SJCAM SJ4000. If you are looking for a budget action camera and you can't quite afford the GoPro Hero, this is a great camera for you. It has pretty much all the same capabilities as the GoPro with obviously a much cheaper price tag. I'm Joel Langley, and I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time.